The economic recession was tough on everybody, including city government. City officials, like city residents, cope by tightening annual budgets, postponing repairs, and putting off new investments in streets, parks, buildings, and other infrastructure. Our elected city leaders believe the time has come to address some of these pent-up needs, but they want to know what you think. First, a bit of background. Money spent on buildings, parks, vehicles, water and sewer projects, and anything else with a useful life of 10 years or more is categorized as capital spending. The city currently has $709 million worth of unfunded capital needs. By far, the biggest unfunded need is for transportation projects. But we also have unmet needs for projects that relate to public safety, our environmental health, our quality of life, economic vitality, and service excellence. These are the areas that the council members have adopted as their strategic focus. This list of unmet needs is limited to items that are the responsibility of city government. As such, it does not include projects that are the responsibility of county government, such as schools and libraries. It is unrealistic to think that we can address all $709 million of our unfunded needs at one time. Because of this, the City Council has spent the past 2 months reviewing them and setting priorities. Based on its review, the City Council is proposing that the city tackle $175 million worth of projects. Of this, almost $60.7 million would go for transportation projects, $25 million for economic development, $10 million for housing development, $17.5 million for the Benton Convention Center, $31 million for police and fire, and almost $30.9 million for recreation. Transportation highlights include $18.3 million to restore Union Station, $15.25 million for resurfacing city streets, and $8 million for sidewalks. Public safety highlights include $10 million to renovate the Public Safety Center and $9 million for district police stations that would base patrol officers closer to their beats. $5 million would update 3 of our oldest fire stations. Recreation projects include $16 million for park improvements, $7 million for developing new parks, and $4.8 million for renovations to existing parks and recreation facilities. Economic development projects include $20 million for business park development, $3 million for downtown development, and $2 million to revitalize urban commercial areas. Housing development includes $6 million for housing rehab and development, and $4 million for improving neighborhoods. The project list also includes $17.5 million for improvements and updates to the Benton Convention Center. A complete list of the proposed projects and descriptions, organized by category, is posted at cityofws.org/2014bonds. How will we pay for all this? When you and I make a capital investment, such as in a house, we borrow the money and pay it back over time. Most of us buy our cars this way too. The City Council is proposing that we do the same, borrow the money. In this case, by selling general obligation bonds for all projects but the Convention Center. These bonds must be approved by city voters and are guaranteed by the city's taxing authority. That's why the City Council is soliciting your feedback. The Convention Center improvements would be financed with a mortgage that would use the Convention Center as collateral. This financing can be enacted without voter approval, enabling the city to move forward with this project more quickly. If the city were to finance all $175 million in projects, the city property tax rate would increase up to 2.5 cents starting in July 2015. Based on this, the owner of a house valued at $200,000 would pay $50 more in property taxes. That works out to about $4.17 a month. The proposed bonds and the specific projects are not a done deal. The City Council wants to hear from city voters before moving forward. If the feedback is favorable, the Council will begin the process of finalizing the list of projects that it will put before the voters. The actual referendum would be held on Election Day in November. But first, we need to hear from you. You can learn more about the proposed projects at cityofws.org/2014bonds. Winston-Salem.